Does a change of latitude actually change the attitude? Or are the San Diego Padres simply buying a very expensive lottery ticket? Good evening, everyone. We are diving straight into the deep end of the National League West today. The headline is simple: Nick Castellanos is a Padre. But the subtext? The subtext is a chaotic, beautiful mess of roster management that manager Craig Stammen has to solve before opening day. We aren't just looking at a free agent finding a new home. We are witnessing the aftermath of a public divorce with the Philadelphia Phillies that left scars on both sides. The question that should be keeping San Diego fans awake at night isn't, can he hit? It's, where on earth do we hide him? The intel dropping from Bob Nightingale at USA Today paints a picture of a team that is improvising on the fly. The blueprint for Castellanos in San Diego is officially labeled multifaceted, which is front office speak for, we are going to try everything. We are talking about a primary designated hitter role, sure, but also a rotation into the outfield and, wait for it, first base. Yes, you heard that right. The Padres are preparing to slot a career outfielder into the infield dirt. This isn't just a signing, it's a tactical gamble. It's a move that screams desperation for offense, even if it means sacrificing defensive stability. Think about the psychology here. Castellanos is coming off a season where the Philadelphia faithful turned on him. He hit 250. He looked lost at times. Now, he arrives in Southern California, not as the savior, but as a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit the existing board. The Padres are betting on the change of scenery narrative. They are banking on the idea that the toxic air of the Northeast suppressed his talent and that the Pacific breeze will unlock the beast. But let's be honest, when a team starts talking about moving a 34-year-old veteran to a new position like first base, it usually means they are out of options. Is this innovation? Or is it a panic move to justify a paycheck? We are about to find out. To understand why San Diego pulled the trigger on this deal, you have to ignore the noise and look strictly at the cold, hard data. There is a narrative floating around that Castellanos failed in Philadelphia last year. And sure, a 250 average with 17 homers isn't winning you the MVP. But let's contextualize that failure within the vacuum of the Padres lineup. If you took that exact same stat line and dropped it into Petco Park last season, Castellanos wouldn't have been a bust. He would have been a cleanup hitter. He would have ranked 4th on the team in home runs and 2nd in RBIs. That is a damning indictment of San Diego's offensive depth last year, and it explains exactly why they felt compelled to make this move. Historically, this feels like the classic aging slugger pivot. We saw it when Albert Pujols went to the Angels, or when Nelson Cruz bounced around the league. The bat is the asset. The glove is the liability. Over a 13-year career, Castellanos has been a machine. 272 average, 250 bombs, 920 RBIs. Those are back-of-the-baseball card numbers that get you paid. He is a 2-time All-Star and a Silver Slugger. The pedigree is undeniable. But the Padres are currently staring at an outfield that is already elite defensively. You have Ramon Laureano locking down left, the electric Jackson Merrill in center, and the superstar Fernando Tatis Jr. in right. There is no room at the inn. This forces the first base experiment. With Gavin Sheets currently holding down that spot, and a litany of options at DH, Stammen is trying to thread a needle with a sledgehammer. By pushing Castellanos to first, they are trying to replicate what the Phillies did with Bryce Harper, moving an outfielder to the infield to preserve his body and keep the bat in the lineup. But Harper is an athletic freak. Castellanos? He's a pure hitter. Asking him to learn the nuances of first base, scooping throws, holding runners, navigating the bag in the middle of a pennant race is a high-wire act. If it works, it adds a layer of depth that makes the Padres dangerous. If it fails, it's going to look like a beer league softball alignment. Let's shift gears to the intangible, the locker room ecosystem. You cannot simply drop a personality like Castellanos into a clubhouse and expect zero ripples. He is vocal, he is emotional, and he is coming from a place where he felt unwanted. San Diego is currently trying to forge an identity in the shadow of the Dodgers. They need dogs. They need guys who have been through the wars. Castellanos brings that edge. But this multifaceted role creates a potential friction point with Gavin Sheets. Imagine being Sheets. You're the first baseman, and suddenly the team brings in a veteran outfielder to take your reps. That is the kind of internal competition that can either sharpen a team or break it apart. Projecting forward, let's look at the cap hit implications and the pressure to perform. The Padres aren't paying Castellanos to be a platoon player. They need him to play 140-plus games. If the first base experiment crashes and burns, say, he makes 3 errors in a week, Stammen is forced to clog the DH spot. That removes flexibility. It means Tatis Jr. can't take a half day at DH. It means Manny Machado has to play third base every single day. The ripple effects of Castellanos' defensive ability, or lack thereof, will be felt across the entire roster. However, there is a golden scenario here that has the fan base buzzing. Imagine a world where Castellanos embraces the us against the world mentality. He stops pressing. He realizes he doesn't have to be the savior. He just has to be a professional hitter. In this scenario, he provides the protection that Tatis Jr. desperately needs. Pitchers can't pitch around Tatis if Castellanos is waiting on deck with a hot bat. This lineup length is what separates playoff teams from World Series contenders. The Padres are banking on the idea that Castellanos is still the guy who can drive in 100 runs in his sleep. If he hits that mark, nobody is going to care if he looks awkward playing first base. Offense cures all ills in modern baseball. So, where does this leave us? The San Diego Padres have officially entered the high-risk, high-reward phase of their offseason. They have acquired a weapon that was discarded by a contender, polished him off, and handed him a glove he's never really used. It is audacious, it is risky, and frankly, it is exactly the kind of move that makes the NL West the most entertaining division in baseball. Craig Stammen has his work cut out for him. He has to manage egos, manage playing time, and manage the inevitable defensive blunders that come with position changes. But make no mistake, Nick Castellanos has plenty to prove. He isn't just playing for a paycheck, he is playing for his legacy. He wants to show Philadelphia they made a mistake. He wants to show the league he isn't washed up. That kind of motivation is powerful fuel. The Padres are hoping that fuel propels them past the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. They believe that this Swiss Army knife version of Castellanos is the final piece of the puzzle. Whether this ends in a trophy celebration or a quiet exit in September remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, it won't be boring. Now, I'm turning the microphone over to you guys. I want the raw, unfiltered take. Is moving Nick Castellanos to first base a stroke of genius or a disaster waiting to happen? And do you think he hits over 270 this year in the California sun? Sound off in the comments section. Let's get a real debate going. If you want more unfiltered breakdowns like this, where we don't just read the news but dissect it, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. We are building the smartest baseball community on YouTube, and you are a part of it. I'll see you in the next video.